Welcome to 10 for 10, a series of interviews with personalities and dedicated leaders across the Major Arena Soccer League, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary. I'm your host, Eric Bergrud. For this week's episode, I am joined by Tommy Tanner, General Manager of Utica City FC. Welcome to 10 for 10, Tommy.
Eric, glad to be here.
Great to have you. Tommy, I want to take you back to your playing career. You played indoor soccer professionally for 10 years and outdoors for 8. You won an Indoor Rookie of the Year award and played in 13 professional championships during your 14-year career. From a player's perspective, what are the differences between indoor and outdoor soccer, and which did you prefer?
I preferred indoor. I got to be honest. When Landon Donovan said the thought of him playing outdoor soccer makes him want to throw up, but the thought of playing indoor 2 minutes at a time, I can do that. You know, at the 60-minute mark, as my career got longer, outdoors, that was a long time. And, that was enough for me to, okay, coach, you can take me out here. I really prefer indoor. I think it's just a better game.
You played on a Cleveland Crunch attacking line with two legends, Zoran Karic and Hector Marinero, winning multiple championships. How do you describe that experience to today's younger players?
Well, I really don't. I mean, when you tell them, we really had one free kick play. Zoran passed the ball to Hector and Hector scored. And how can that be? And it's just timing. And those two, they worked on it together. And they were two of arguably, I would put Preki up there because Preki played in the same time that we played there. And he was a great player. But Zoran and Hector, they were the top two in our era from, that 90s to 2000. That's for sure.
You still have the bling, right?
I do. Yeah. I have a bunch of them.
That's awesome. All right, speaking of indoor, you played much of your indoor career in the multi-point scoring era where goals counted for 1, 2, and 3 points. When the MASL was launched, it committed to a traditional one-point system. Looking back, what is your personal take on multi-point scoring?
Well, I think in that first year, the Eastern Division, we played multi-point because, the whole Eastern Conference was a huge multi-point fan. In my opinion, we're missing the boat here, and we're in single point scores. I think the NPSL and Steve Paxos from the 90s to middle 2000s had it perfect. I mean, all the rules, the 1, 2, and 3 point, I wish we would go back to multi-point. If you ask Monterey, because they had multi-point, they would love to go to multi-point. There's a bunch. The ones that never played multi-point, they're the ones in the league who don't want to play it. But there's no better soccer, in my opinion, than multi-point. I mean, can you imagine if the NBA played 1-point baskets or the NFL played 1-point touchdowns? I don't think many people would watch.
So I want to ask you about UCFC. Your franchise took a big step forward in hiring Everton as head coach in 2022. What attributes impressed you when Everton interviewed for the position?
Well, I think what really, interested me in Everton was when, Ryan Hall, who was our former coach, we signed Everton, and we were out in San Diego to play San Diego and Empire at the time. We just sat down with him, and Everton just started talking about the game and talking about his philosophies. And when he came in, he didn't want anything to do with coaching. He made it very clear. I don't want to be a coach. I want to be just a player. But, after that, me and Ryan left, and he's pretty bright, this guy is. So, he's passionate about the game. When he's here for the time he's here, it's all soccer, and he's super knowledgeable. So he's been a great addition.
So Everton also serves as the head coach of the United States men's national futsal team. From your perspective, how does the participation of MASL players in Everton in that program benefit this league?
Well, I think obviously, players on the national team is an incredible opportunity, and it allows people to show how good our players really are. I mean, I say, and some of the guys make fun of me. I think teams, if they came and tried to play indoor, some outdoor teams, they would really struggle to beat some of our teams. And I think a perfect example last year was a TST. And, the 16 MASL players go out and win $1 million. And they were truly the class of all the players there. And I think we have really, really, really talented players. And it gives them another opportunity to shine.
So for viewers of this show who've never attended a UCFC home game, can you describe what a Sunday afternoon at the Adirondack Bank Center is like?
Well, I mean, it's a tremendous atmosphere. Every game is a minimum 3,000 fans. I like to call it Sunday Fun Day. And the staff that we have here just did an amazing job with, the beer garden that we have for the fans, and no music. So the only time we play music is when the ball's out of bounds for that short amount of time. And it's a very, very knowledgeable fan base, I think, because of that. They're there every week. They're intense, they're passionate. As you see, whenever we lose at home, the other teams really celebrate, almost overboard. I don't think they're used to, being in that kind of hostile environment. They are every single week. But it's great. It's great for the league. And it's, our community, Utica, has just done an amazing job of supporting the team.
So based on what UCFC posts on its social media accounts, having fun is part of the culture, and you've even gotten into the video action. How would you describe the team and front office spirit in Utica?
I think they love the soccer team, and two of your guys' staff members used to be a part of ours, Phil and Lindsay. And Phil was probably the first one to start these videos. Kind of an off take of ESPN, maybe. Who knows where they came from? But we do that. We have that planned. We plan that 6 or 8 months in advance of what we're going to do. And each week we have a video that goes out to support the game, to sell tickets and let people know we have a game there. And it's worked tremendously.
So earlier this season, UCFC rebranded itself as the Riggies for one game. What inspired you to make this decision, and how did your fans respond?
Well, the Syracuse Mets, in a AAA baseball team, and a bunch of other, I think, minor league baseball teams do that. And salt potatoes are a really big thing in our area. And I want to say they rebrand themselves like 3 times a year to Syracuse Salt Potatoes, and they just sell a ton of merch. And Utica's famous for its Riggies, and there's a few other things Utica's famous for. Half Moon started here, Utica Green started here, so who knows? We could have some opportunities to do other things with it. But we thought Utica Riggies, the staff came up with Riggies, and it was just a home run. I mean, the merchandise, the amount of merchandise. We sold out of merchandise before the game even started. We had to open an online store to sell more merchandise. Auction the jerseys after the game. So it was a huge success, and I look forward to, maybe some other teams in the leagues when we play them. Both teams are, say it's the Kansas City Ribs or something like that, or Kansas City Barbecue versus the Utica, Riggies, and just having fun with it and be able to, sell tickets and sell merch and get people excited for the game.
Different kind of question for you, Tommy. In 2021, the MASL hired the triumvirate of Keith Tozer, Shep Messing, and JP Dellacamera to serve as the office of the commissioner for the league. How would you evaluate their performance, and what does the future hold for them?
Well, so let me first talk. I called when we went through a big, extensive search to find him, and then all of a sudden, the three of them put a resume together, saying that. And I'm still really close with Joe Papaleo, who was a fantastic goalkeeper in this league. And I said, Joe, if I could pick 3 people to run our league as a commissioner, who would you say? And Joe immediately goes, Keith Tozer. And I said, as a director, vice president of communications, who would you have? And he immediately said JP Dellacamera. And I said, what about chairman? And he's like, Julie V. And I go, pick again. He goes, Shep Messi. And I mean, like, Joe, knows just like I know. These are the 3 guys to lead us to the next phase of it. And, they've done a tremendous job you got to think about it. The first year is almost, they come in and the season's starting. So really, but if you just look at all the communications we have, the league, the teams, it's not easy trying to manage all the owners in our league. And a lot of their time goes doing that. But I think, I give them an A, that's for sure. And I look forward to them helping to grow the league for many years to come.
So final question for you, Tommy. If you had to pick your favorite moment of the MASL's first 10 years, what would it be and why?
Well, it's going to be a Utica City moment, obviously. Makes sense. It would be our first sellout, which was December 30th, 2018. And it was, we had 2 other home games. The first home game probably had about 2,500 people. And then, the next one was a little bit closer to 3,000. And then, we pushed the Baltimore Blasting. We were playing the Blast. And I think it was like 3,800 people showed. And it was a terrific ending where Andre Braithwaite scored in the last seconds and ran over to the sidelines there and popped that bottle of champagne, and it sprayed in the air. And from then we went on to sell nine more sellouts in a row that single year. And it's kind of put us on the map in terms of the league and soccer, and showing that Utica really is a soccer town.
Thank you so much for your time, Tommy. And thanks to each of you for joining us. We will be back soon with another 10 for 10 interview.